Sonny, Joey, 500. Got some goats in the field. Get ready for a shakedown. Prepare for a shakedown. We from Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down. Get ready for a shakedown. We underdogs, my guy. Kinda used to all the hate now. Prepare for it, man. Y'all get it. My QB got swag. My wideout is award winning. This fly was fly. Joey and 500. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Here's a quote you can sing back. Shake squad up and don't be a dingbat. It's a shakedown.
Don't you frown. Here comes Philly Shakedown.
Let's go.
Oops. I forgot to add myself into the stream there. Welcome to the Philly Shakedown episode 40. Is my volume too loud? Hold on. It is. Okay, episode 43. I'm all over the place today, and my camera doesn't work, so I got to update my computer. Yeah, that's why it looks like crap.
That's right. It's not my fault this time.
It's my fault. It's my fault. The bye week, coming off the bye week. How do you feel about the bye week? How have you been thinking about this past week? Just everything in general with the Eagles and what's to come?
Oh, man. So you want to talk about a bye week and what's yet to come? Well, you got Washington.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it that way, but it came out. But yeah, pause. But I mean, you got a big, huge, monstrous game with Washington, a playoff type game. This Sunday, you got a rest. Washington looks like they came out of this game today banged up. So, I mean, to me, we're essentially this is the playoffs. This is our bye week, and the playoffs are starting as far as I'm concerned because every game's must win at this point.
Now, Washington lost to the Cowboys today, which definitely helped us out in the wild card race, which gets Washington as a tie for us. We're tied, I think, with the Vikings and with Washington now at 6-7. So now you go into this game next week. You have something to play for. The Eagles control their own destiny. Now, after watching almost a comeback, it was close. I mean, I think Cowboys only scored, 6 points. I think whatever it was in the second half. I mean, they were, Washington came back with that pick six, and they were kind of on a roll. Obviously, Terry McLaurin, not even a yard on the day. I mean, locked him up pretty good. So does Washington scare you going into next week?
I thought they were a very scary team going into this game. But after watching that performance, I feel a lot better about them. Washington, they were horrible today. I mean, they stunk. For a team that is playing your division rivals and then to have the other team say that they're going to win and they're guaranteeing wins in your home, to come out as flat as Washington did, I thought was really horrible. And I think Dallas gave us a nice blueprint on how to beat Washington. Get pressure on Heineken and be disruptive with your front seven, and they're going to have a problem. They can't move the ball. Unfortunately, I don't know if we have the front seven that can do that right now. That's going to be the question.
Every time there's injuries on the opposing team and we have to take advantage of that, we never just seem to take advantage. I feel like we're still running our offense to the point where we're not taking care of matchups. We're not adjusting to injuries from another team being injured. So that's something to look out for. I think Heineke left with an injury today, which Allen did take over in this game. So that's something we have to watch out for this week because Allen is not good at all. I mean, make some throws here and there, but nothing special.
No, Heineken was bad too. I mean, look, this whole game was won by the defensive line of the Cowboys, in my opinion. Obviously Michael Parsons is a beast. He went out, he did his thing. Randy Gregory was out there doing his thing. DeMarcus Lawrence. They disrupted Washington's offense. They had nothing. Washington couldn't run the ball. They couldn't throw the ball. And, to me, my biggest fear going into this game versus Washington is Jonathan Gannon going to see this and bring pressure and know that's how you beat him, or is he going to play back like he did with Zach Wilson? The blueprint is out there to beat Washington. You can get pressure on them. They're done.
And offensively, I think we have the offensive line to really pick everybody up, especially with Jordan Howard hopefully coming back. There's no updates yet, but even with Miles Sanders back, you can pick up some blitzes, get some protection. And I think offensively, Jalen Hurts has to be how he was before that Giants game. I mean, he's got a lot to prove coming off that Giants game because that was the worst game of the year.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Jalen Hurts and how he responds because, I wanted to see how he responded when we played the Jets because that was a bad performance. But now he's got 2 weeks to heal. He should be hopefully good to go. And, this is a big game. He's 0-4 in the division. And this really sets you up for a chance to make a wild card. This is exactly what I've been waiting to see all year with Jalen Hurts. This is how we're really going to evaluate this kid. He's going to have to be good, no question about it.
So coming off, obviously the Jets win and being so high on it, and then really going on this bye week, do you think there's a chance where if Jalen Hurts does struggle in some of these games, and I don't know, it might be the first game, and you have 2 home games in Philly, obviously against the Washington, against the Giants, do you think there's a chance that, he could be benched if he can't play to expectation, or do you think they just roll with him the rest of the year?
It's hard to say with the Eagles front office, right? I mean, we really don't know. We have no idea. I would say this: most likely he plays, and I think he probably should. But I do wonder. I do keep thinking about the scenario: you're down 14-3, 7 minutes left, third quarter. He hasn't moved the ball all day. Would they pull him? That is a question I have no idea because I don't know what this team really thinks of him.
No, I know. I don't either. I mean, he's got to really sway everybody towards his way in this next game. He's got to let the offense work for him. He can't be the hero. He can't be holding on to the ball too much. And I mean, it's not really the play calling sequence. I think there's some things that are good with it. I think Nick has been calling good plays, but it's the way this offense is performing at the quarterback spot. And we all knew that if Minshew did play well over that, we didn't think he was going to play that good, that there was going to be obviously issues within the fan base and issues just all around with, who the Eagles should start. And your long-term answer is Jalen Hurts. You need that evaluation period this whole entire year, which we wanted. Ups and downs, regardless of what was going to happen, and we got it. So he hasn't won a division game yet, and I think here's the thing. If he can't win a game within the division, obviously the rest of the games are division games. So what if he doesn't win a game in this division?
That's going to hurt. I mean, if he struggles down the road, right, and if you lose the rest of your games or you struggle in the division, you can't win, you're going to struggle down the road. I don't know what the Eagles do at that point. I think that this is a team. I think Howie Roseman wants to go after another quarterback. I think Jeffrey Lurie does not want to go after another quarterback. So at the end of the day, we may get a situation with. Did you hear this other thing now where the Eagles are looking at accumulating picks? They want more first-round picks in 2023, and they basically are thinking of, and they could consider trading 2 of their first 3 first-round picks this year. And the reason they would do that is because if you keep Jalen Hurts and you're not sure if he's the guy, but you give him 1 more year, and then he turns out not to be the guy, you need that ammo to go get a quarterback. So the Eagles could go anywhere with Jalen Hurts. I don't know, but I think that as long as he goes out and he wins and he plays well, and I think he's going to play well. I actually think he's going to go out and I think he's going to respond really well versus Washington. I do.
Yeah, I think sitting from the sideline and obviously getting an outside view of, sometimes you just need to take a seat on the sideline just to see the point of view of what's going on. And and even when you talked about that, I heard the news about the draft picks. Now, do you think they're gonna trade back? There's a possibility of them trading back two first-round picks. You're talking about 2 first-round picks trading back for multiple first-round picks and picking one player. Is that what is that picking?
Well,
2?
yeah. I mean, there was a thing where they were talking to AFC Scout, and they were saying that they could see the Eagles trade 2 of their 3 first-round picks. So they would trade those essentially, most likely, to get first-round picks in 2023. So then maybe next year we go into 2023 with 2 extra first-round picks. So that way they have more time to evaluate Jalen Hurts. Remember, the thing with the whole Hurts thing and why it was like 1 year, 1 year, 1 year is because the Eagles had the ammunition in a trade with those draft picks if they needed to be. But if they can buy time for 1 more year, then you give Hurts a whole nother year to kind of see what he got. So I don't mind that scenario, to be quite honest with you. I have no problem with that if that's what they decide to do.
Yeah, if there's a decision made next year that even if you're not trading for a quarterback, a veteran quarterback, if you're not going for a Deshaun Watson type deal, or you're not trading up in the draft to go get a quarterback, what you could do is either put these two quarterbacks in competition next year if they feel like they have to do that to kind of see who the better man is coming out of camp or end preseason, or they could just let Jalen Hurts go another year and we just have another evaluation period. And I think next year will tell us if Jalen Hurts is going to be the guy, and I think that's what they should do.
It's just hard to know what the Eagles are thinking, what this front office is thinking. It's like every week we have a different scenario, right? You have the Eagles are thinking of keeping Jalen Hurts. Oh, the Eagles are sending Howie Roseman to go scout quarterbacks. The Eagles may trade first-round picks. Either the Eagles really don't know or they're just not telling anybody. I have no idea what they're doing. All I know is if Jalen Hurts goes out the next 4 games, gets us in the playoffs, I think he comes back next year.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, he gets us to the playoffs, definitely. I mean, get these guys. It would be nice to get them into a playoff game, at least get some, reps in a playoff game in the atmosphere and just get them into that. So,
you know who I want? You know what I want? I want Dallas. I want the Eagles to make the playoffs and have to play Dallas in Dallas first round and then beat their ass. That would be a great end to the season.
Will they need to be in the first seed for that? So what is it? The third wild card team plays the first seed? I don't even know how it goes.
No, because the first seed has a bye week.
Right.
So
right.
The second would play, I think, the 7th. And what you call it, the Eagles could be 6 or 7 right now. We had good luck with Washington losing. That was good for us. But I don't know if you guys saw San Francisco. They won in overtime, and they were down 3 in overtime and went down and scored a touchdown. That would have been a big loss. Right. We need Minnesota to lose. So we'll see.
Yeah, like I said, Eagles control their own destiny. So obviously you have to keep account of some of the other teams like the 49ers, Vikings, some of these other teams that we have to keep an eye out on for this wild card race right now. Yeah. But Eagles got to take care of their own business. Go ahead.
I think somebody said they would have to be the 2nd seed. The Eagles, Dallas would have to be the 2nd seed. Well, Green Bay's losing, I think, right now. I think Chicago just scored. So it could happen. It could happen. You'd never know.
Yep. Roro Sonora says, I heard. Oh, go ahead.
No. You're good.
So Roro Sonora says, I heard the front office is getting trade offers for Uncle Rico. Do you think that there's a possibility they could trade Minshew next year? If just
fake news. I think that's fake news. Well, the trade deadline's passed. I don't think teams are inquiring about him right now.
No.
But I don't think so, because I think they brought Minshew in to be a backup quarterback. He's got, I think, 2 years left on his contract. He makes hardly nothing. Okay? So he's the perfect backup, I think, for the Eagles. He may be one of the better backups in the league, and you're paying him nothing. I don't trade him. I just keep him and let him back up Hurts. Or at very least, you could have, if Hurts is coming back, maybe you have open competition between Minshew and Hurts. But I don't think anybody's trying to trade for him.
No. And I'm just saying, like, next year, maybe if they get an offer on the table maybe during like training camp or something like that. I mean, now definitely. Yeah,
you never know, but I don't know. It really depends on what they're going to do at quarterback. That's going to be the biggest story for the Eagles all season. What's the quarterback situation? Every quarterback will be linked to Philly. We're in on everything, and it's going to be completely nuts.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy offseason. Wish from N Philly says, I believe Dallas can lose their next 3 out of 4 games. We could sweep Washington football team, and Vikings and Saints need to lose. Jalen Hurts is my guy, though.
Yeah, I don't see.
The Cardinals.
See how Dallas loses the division.
The Cardinals is like the only game they could probably lose. But other than that, they have the Cardinals on their schedule, I think, left.
They got the Giants, Washington, Cardinals, and the Eagles.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't see how they lose the division. I don't know. They may be able to win it next week for all we know. They got 9 wins, right? So, I mean, they technically may be able to clinch it as soon as a week or two. So, they're going to win the division. Our thing is now the playoffs, the wild card. We have to get a wild card.
Right.
You know?
Let's see. Common Star says, yes, it has. Hurts has bad mechanics. He misses guys open constantly. He's inaccurate and runs too soon.
Agreed. I agree.
But Hurts one more year.
Develop? Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I haven't decided whether I think they should give him one more year or not. I just know that there's that report saying that if they keep him, they're going to look to trade and get multiple firsts in 2023. So but I don't think we know. I really think these last 4 games is going to be a big tell for us. I really do. I mean, you if he goes on a winning streak, wins 4 games and gets in the playoffs, I can't see you not bringing him back.
Yeah, no, I mean, if he makes the playoffs, definitely. Like, you got to bring him baake. I mean, and especially the chemistry gets better, and just depending on who they keep and what happens. And here's another thing I want to ask. Definitely is there any type of reason? Not even a reason, but for our wide receivers right now, Quez Watkins being the number 2 receiver right now, do you think he is a number 2? Do you think that they make him a 3 if Greg Ward walks in free agency and they get a free agent receiver next year that's not top dollar but somebody mid-tier?
Do they really look at Quez Watkins as the number 2 wide receiver though? I mean, technically he should be, but if you look at like the snap counts, like how come Jalen Reagor is getting more snaps than Devontae Smith? No, you can't explain that to me. Devontae Smith, they try everything to get Reagor the ball, but they don't try to do that for Devontae Smith. They don't try to do it for Quez Watkins. I have no idea what they think. I don't think they use Quez Watkins right. I don't think they use Devontae Smith right. And I know as sure as hell they give too many chances to Jalen Reagor. So I have no idea how they view him,
And plus, JJ's taking snaps from Quez Watkins as well when he goes in there too. So
and then all he does is block. I hate the way the Eagles use their wide receivers. I hate it.
Nate says we should give Hurts next year and then trade 2 of our first-round picks for more picks next year. If Hurts isn't the guy, you have the tools to aggressively pursue Bryce Young or another QB.
I think that's something they may try to do. I really do. I could totally see that situation. Those were the reports. Look, if it was me and I decided that I'm going to keep Hurts one more year, I'm trading at least one of those first-round picks. I have to have multiple first-round picks the following year, because I have to be sure that if I have to go out and get a quarterback, I have the ammo. Otherwise, think about this. You could be in a situation where if you don't do that, and let's say Hurts is not the guy, you have 7 wins, 8 wins, and now you're in kind of like that limbo where you're never picking high enough to really get that franchise-changing quarterback. Do you trust this scouting department to go and evaluate a quarterback, the right guy? I don't.
Yeah. And here is not drafting a quarterback this year, or not even just drafting, but using 2 of those first-round picks and trading those back to get multiple first-round picks for next year, for 2023, if that's the case. You're missing out on building more of your play. You're building more of your defense, building, those missing holes that the Eagles do have. So are you going to just use free? You're just going to give big contracts, because that's not a good idea either, to give just big contracts to free agents. You know what I mean? So this is a tough decision.
I mean, this is what, and this is why I've said this before. Like, this whole season, we have to keep everything in perspective. To me, it's great to make the playoffs. Sure, that would be awesome. But we got to find out what we have in Hurts. We got to find our franchise quarterback. I feel like until we do that, we're going to really, how are you going to build around somebody? How are you going to build the foundation of this team if you're trying to still figure out if you have a franchise quarterback, a person to build around?
Yeah.
That's why I think it's so important to figure out what we have in Hurts.
Yeah, no, I get it. Eagle Lance says, I don't see Hurts developing so much more where it's going to make him a quality starting quarterback. Hurts looks to be who he is, the type of QB.
He very well may be right. A lot of people feel that way, and they very well may be right. I feel like these next 4 games, because of their division games, they're late in December, they're high pressure situation. I feel like that this is like maybe our only time where we're going to get this opportunity to really evaluate Hurts in this kind of setting. So I say let's finish through with it.
Yeah, and I'd say if you at least give it another year, we'll feel more comfortable. Then we can make a move after that, whatever they want to do. But if you're going to miss out, if you miss out on some players this year, then I don't know how they're going to shore up some of the holes that we do have. So I don't think giving like I'm saying, I don't think giving out big contracts and free agency is really going to help because you know what I mean. So
no, I think you would just basically. What you would do is you would just take your first round picks that you got from like Indy and Miami, and you would just kind of push them back another year. Whoever wants to come up and take those picks, get first round picks for 2023. So essentially, you go to 2023 with 3 first round picks. That's what they could do. That's what I was reading about, anyways.
Okay.
Which sucks in one way because now you're not picking defensive players. You're picking only maybe one player in the first round. Right. But like I said, the big thing to me, and everything is going to get held up until we know if we have a quarterback or not. Until they commit to Hurts or whoever, I see this as a problem.
Yeah, I agree. Tom Mestor says, I believe we're trading over one of our first-round picks, probably the latest one is somebody to get a second first-round pick next year. Yeah,
I agree. I think he's right. I definitely think they're not keeping all 3. The worst-case scenario is if, let's say, Miami somehow got you a top 10 pick, and then they traded that top 10 pick to get out of the top 10. Like, that shit would piss me off. That would piss me off.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, we don't have a top 10 pick right now, so I mean, I don't know what Miami's going to do the rest of the year. It looks like it's like nothing helps us in the end. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? It just never helps us. These teams don't help us at all.
I mean, the other thing they could do is, like, let's say you want a guy like Aiden Hutchinson, and let's say he's going to be a top 3 or 4 pick. If you have you have plenty of picks to trade up for him, if you really like him that much. This team needs an edge rusher like nobody else, man. Yes. It's so apparent they need pass rushers.
Yeah, and obviously you have a good pass rusher helps out your defensive tackles because Fletcher Cox isn't getting help on his side. And Josh Sweat's got 3 sacks for the year, hasn't really done much after that contract. And Derek Barnett's a knucklehead all year. So, I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I know. And then look at Dallas today, the way they played Washington. I mean, that offensive line could not block Dallas at all. Could not.
Wow. Between Barrymore and Randall Gregory and just the strip and then the deflection pick. I mean, the whole defensive line, it looked like us from the past few years. Like, I miss having that defensive line that you just close in on the quarterback where he goes nowhere. I mean,
right.
It's, you know what I mean? You built that. And unfortunately, some people are saying it's scheme more for, that the scheme is really hurting us more than our defensive line, that the defensive line is not getting pressure because of the scheme. But at the same time, it's like you have guys on the field that have to prove themselves. I mean, are they not shooting their gap? What are they doing? They're not getting pressure. Fletcher Cox has totally just disappeared this year. It's just, and I only say it towards him because he's making a lot of money. So it's crazy. It's just nuts.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting. No question. I think the Bears are winning.
Are they?
I think so. It was 10-0 when I saw earlier. Just trying to see. Go ahead.
Richie says, Hurts those beautiful pass to Rager in the closing minutes of the Giants game, some as the Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase, except Chase caught it today. Now, even with those 2 beauties to Rager that he didn't catch either one of them, like, do you see Eagles fans that, go on when he made those 2 passes matter the most, but ignore the fact what he did the rest of that game?
What do you mean?
Like I'm saying, like there's Eagles fans that totally ignore what Hurts did all of that Giants game besides those two
Right.
passes to Rager. Does that annoy you? Kind of like everything kind of disappears where it doesn't
Yes and
where it
no.
matters.
I mean, yeah, no. I get it. Like Regular catches that ball, it's completely. I mean, everything's washed away, right? Like it's like clean slate. But he didn't, so it makes it worse. But you can't ignore. I don't think you can ignore how bad Hurts was in that game. I think that's unfair. Not that he can't rebound or you don't have. Everybody has bad games. I'm not overly killing him for that. My biggest issue with Hurts in that game against the Giants was that end of the half play where he turns it over. That was the one that I'm like, you can't do that. You know that right there. But a lot of these, are just situational, I think.
Yeah, and it's really just going, and even the checkdowns, even the one, I think one of the drives where he good pass to the Quez Watkins, good to Devontae Smith, he gets to the 40 of the Giants and throws that, the one that everyone thought Quez was getting held on that play, which he didn't really have to throw that, you know what I mean? So
Yep.
I know he wants to score, I know he wants to get points on the board. Obviously, the red zone is another factor. Like, why aren't they putting a running back next to Jalen Hurts? Why are they letting him just run up to the end zone? Why not put a running back next to him? Why is he throwing a pick? Why aren't they kicking the ball? I mean, take the 3 points. I mean, there's so many different things that they did wrong in that game. And, it was a bad day. I mean, he's got a lot to prove these next 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, but this is what we want to see. This is what I've been waiting to see. How's he going to react in December football with with a playoff berth online? I think it's a great spot.
Yeah. We got a super chat from Nitro Freak. What's going on, man? He says, my guys, F the hater. This is the best podcast going. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that. You the man.
Guys, subscribe to Nitro Freak if you guys haven't either. He runs a Fly Like an Eagle podcast. You guys haven't checked that out. Check out his stuff. It's like an Eagle fan that doesn't sugarcoat anything. You go to his channel.
He's going to bring it to you raw.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to give it to you the way he's going to give it to you raw.
If you guys haven't subscribed,
hey, it is what it is. He's got to do what he's got to do. I like it.
If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. If you guys haven't liked the stream, please like the stream. If you guys haven't,
I like it raw.
The better half of the Philly Shakedown podcast, subscribe to Philly 500. His link is in the description below. Check it out. Check out his content. We did stream Washington and Dallas game today. What happened now?
No, I see the pauses. Everybody lets me know when I better pause. That's great.
Now, Wick says our linebackers are a problem. We need linebackers that will put the fear of God in our opponents. Isn't that right? After seeing Micah Parsons today, Jesus Christ, this guy is a beast. He is a beast.
He is really, really good. The Eagles do not value linebackers. That has always been a huge problem for them. Look, the Eagles need 2 linebackers, 2 defensive ends, 2 safeties, and maybe a corner. So, they need a lot of help on defense. But, yeah, linebacking would be a great, great area to improve. But, we'll see.
Yeah.
Now, I think Parsons is better edge rusher, in my opinion. That's where I would play him if I was the Eagles. The Eagles, it's a shame their scouting department couldn't figure out that he's a pass rusher, because he would have been perfect, exactly what they need.
And that tells you what the scouting department of, it's just crazy. It's just nuts.
Yep.
We're not saying Devontae Smith was a bad pick or anything. We're not saying that. All we're saying is, it's just amazing how you see, like, when we all we see is before they get drafted is what they could do, and that's it. But then there are teams that change the way they play or see that they have other strengths in their game that really weren't in focus when they, before they were drafted. And then you find out all these things about this player. So it's amazing what teams could do with certain players.
Yeah.
We got a new member to the Shake Squad Army. Appreciate it. Marcus Big Mob 248. Welcome to Shake Squad Soldier, bro.
Shout out to Marcus. Marcus the man.
He's the man.
He great guy.
Jersey Sixer says raw. Here we go.
Raw. raw as
Oh,
war.
and they I think they compared him to Lawrence Taylor today because they had him on. Did you see that today?
Yeah.
His rookie year in 1981.
I started debating Cowboy fans about this. I'm like, they're showing you his stats with Lawrence Taylor. They're not saying he's the next Lawrence Taylor. They're not saying he's going to be as good as Lawrence Taylor. You got to stop with that. That's so crazy to me. It's so crazy, and it puts so much pressure on Parsons to have to live up to Lawrence Taylor or Reggie White. I mean, that's insane. It's insane. He's a great player too. He's a great player. He's got all the talent in the world. But you gotta, when they start doing that, I just roll my eyes.
They probably said to you all the time.
Oh yeah.
Thomas Star said we need Smith, but this year go all out on defense in the draft because there is great prospects in this year's draft. This quarterback situation is what's going to stop this process of getting defense this year.
That's the whole thing. If they can say, hey, you know what, Jalen Hurts is our guy, he's our franchise quarterback, then yeah, go spend it all on defense. But if they can't say that and they don't have a quarterback, what are they going to do? I think they're going to trade those picks down the road. I do. I think they're going to push them back a year.
Yeah, probably. Bart Vidmouth says he's not close to Ray Lewis. He's not close to Lawrence Taylor. He's not close to Reggie White. They need to just let him play his game, Cowboys. Let him be his own player and his own let him create his own legacy. I mean, that's pretty much what they got to do.
I mean, you're talking about arguably the greatest defensive player in Lawrence Taylor ever to play. A guy who changed how they block on the offensive line. And the guy's played 12. He's played 13 games. He's got 12 sacks, 13. He looks great. He looks like he could be all world. He may be a Hall of Fame or something. All those things are possible, but let him be who he is, and then let's see down the road.
Yeah. As for the apologist says, did y'all know Dillard shut down Parsons? Now, I wouldn't take that into account too much. It was very early in the season, and Parsons was getting better. I mean, he's a lot better than he was early in the season. Totally different player. I mean, totally different player now. And I know it's a big, everyone's going to say it's a big deal, but, Dillard at this point is going to be a backup left tackle. I don't think he's going anywhere next year. And to be honest, when he was in the game, he wasn't great and he wasn't bad. He stuck in there. He did. And we were surprised he actually did it just enough. You know what I mean? So, I mean, even though he's no. No,
I'm just thinking about Dillard. Here's another first round pick that we're talking about being a bench player. Then you have Derek Barnett, another first round pick who can't even get 5 sacks. Then you have JJ Arcega-Whiteside, a second round pick that all he does is block. And then somehow we always get the narrative always changes into hey, this is a first round pick. He should be doing this. And it always turns into, well, he blocks good or, well, he's a good depth piece. Yeah, but they were first round picks. These should be stud guys starting right now.
Right.
It's so frustrating with how this team drafts. It just kills me.
Yeah, and it's all analytical. Like this, I think. Look, and we love. I mean, Land Dickerson's, turned out to be a really good pick and an offensive lineman that could play multiple positions. Could play left guard. Could play center. We want to keep him at left guard. If Jason Kelce does retire, then I would say, and I think we've talked about it before. Maybe put Samalo at center if you really have to, because I think we really like Dickerson at left guard next to Mulata.
I do. I don't know if I don't know if I like Samalo at center.
Right.
I definitely don't like Herbig. You can't. His thunder thighs can't get the ball through. That's why the ball was always bad snaps. But I think I think that I like Landon Dickerson at left guard because the combination of him and Jordan Mulata on that left side is brutal. They're beastly. But you still need more offensive linemen. You still need another interior offensive lineman, in my opinion.
Yeah. R. Alter says, with Howard coming back, it makes our running game better, and that makes Hurts better. Take the Broncos game as an example. Now, we all know that. I mean, and trust me, I think we all love Miles Sanders getting 25 carries for over 120 yards. I think we like that a lot. But with Howard, and we don't even know if Howard's coming back. We don't even know. Nothing's been said yet, obviously, until we head into this week. So if Howard does come back, I could see, obviously sprinkling some, Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard, maybe 15 carries apiece if they can get that, and then maybe sprinkle some Boston Scott in there if they could do that as well. Do you think the Eagles need to put Howard in this lineup, or do you think that Miles should be taking all the snaps?
No, I think Howard should be in there. I think he should be Howard and Miles. But I think Miles needs like 15 carries a game minimum. I think Miles needs that. Miles is still my guy. He's still explosive. But you got to mix Howard in with him. No question about it. In my opinion.
Right.
The thing is Howard, we went through this before. Remember, he had a stinger and then he didn't play like the rest of the year. So I don't know what's up with him,
I think he was I think Howard was ready a lot earlier that year, but the Eagles kept him out because they didn't want to give the Bears that 5th round pick. It was a 6th round conditional pick when we traded for him, but when he got that stinger, they should have threw him in that wild card game, but he had to get a certain amount of snaps for the Bears to get that 5th round pick, and that's why I didn't play him. I mean, it's a wild card game, and you don't put him in because of a measly draft pick.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Common Star says Kenny Pickett is going to be good, but I don't think he will be great, though. Honestly, this year's QB draft class is good, but they are big risks who could be steals. And a lot of people have been talking about Kenny Pickett a lot, that maybe he has a chance to be a starting quarterback in the league, but I don't know.
I mean, I've only seen very briefly like a few things from him. He reminds me of Carson Wentz. That's who he reminds me of. I don't know. I know he's a giant Eagle fan. He was a giant Eagle fan growing up. So that would be interesting. But, the thing with the quarterbacks is in every draft, the quarterbacks always rise. So, there's probably somebody we're not talking about right now who may come out and may be rated real high when it's all said and done. We kind of just got to wait and see,
Yeah. Tight Anderson, what's going on, man? Loving the new channel, Shakes. Appreciate it, bro. I actually have another YouTube channel. I cover like horror news and games and all that stuff. So I've been working on something new, kind of out of my element.
What do you mean horror news?
Horror, like I'm talking like any type of horror that goes into movies, like trailer reactions and stuff like that.
So you're not like in Illinois today, some woman chopped off her husband's penis and then went and chopped off the neighbor's penis, not like real horror news. Like
that's no, not like the X-Files or like any type of
right.
That's a real story. Actually, someone chopping somebody's dick off. That actually happened in real life. There's a huge thing that happened.
Didn't.
That's all that matters. That's a true story. That's a true story. No joke. And it happened in the country like in the 80s. It was crazy.
Just kill me then. Just end my life. I mean, what the hell do I have to live for?
And yeah,
if your meat pressure ain't working, what are you gonna do?
Subscribe to Titan Anderson too. He is a Titans YouTuber. I don't really know I don't even think I know any other Titans content creators, to be honest. But Titan Anderson, over 5,000 subscribers and just going up, doing a really good job with his work. So definitely subscribe to his channel. He does a really good job.
Yeah, he's awesome. No question about it.
Spirit They Vanished says that fake slide was terrible. When you slide, defenders can't hit you. You can't just eye slide should be a penalty if they hit him big time. There's something happened like they
changed the rule, but I gotta tell you, I don't know. I thought that was okay because he started to go on a slide. He wasn't sliding. He just made a move and they just stopped. And then he kept going. It wasn't like he was half in a slide and then got up and ran. I don't know. I thought it was kind of smart.
Yeah, I heard something about the rule change or something like that with the slide or something like that. Marcus Bidmob says, think the Eagles should bring back Rasul Douglas as a safety because he's looking good on Green Bay. Was that 3 picks? Was that 3 pick sixes for the year or two or three of them?
So at least two that I know of. Yeah.
That's crazy. It's nuts. Oh man.
I think it was very smart that he did that. He scored a touchdown, did he not? Did he not score a touchdown? They counted it as a touchdown. It's very smart.
Right.
You know, it's like the Dan Marino fake knee on the fake kneel. I mean, to me, you should be able to fake a slide, but you should also be able to take a shot. I don't think the way that they protect court, I think it's too much. But he only made a move to slide. He didn't actually go into a slide. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't start the slide and then stop. He just made a move like he was going to. I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, Richie says the NCAA has banned the use of the fake slide by ball carriers less than a week after Pitt quarterback used the play to score a touchdown in last week's ACC championship game. That's ridiculous. That's just.
I don't like that rule. I honestly don't. I mean, why don't they just make it flag football then?
Yeah, I mean, if that was the plan for him to fake slide, then I mean, there's a if it's not, I mean, I don't know why that's BS. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, like I said, if he was like in a slide and came out of it and kept running, but like he just made a move like he was going to slide. He didn't actually go in a slide. So if you go like that, that's considered a slide. Like, what move is now considered a slide? If you put your foot in front, like, how are they going to determine what is a fake slide and what is not a fake slide? I don't know. I think it's stupid.
I have to watch that. I actually never watched it. So what does it look like? He's about to go down and he gets back up and he just
he looks no, he doesn't go. He doesn't even go down. He just is running and then he goes like he pulls back like he's about to like go into a slide, but then he just keeps running. So to me, it wasn't like he started sliding and then got up. I mean, he just made the move, but he never got on his knees. His ass never hit the ground. It wasn't anything like that. He just made a move. I thought it was pretty smart.
Yeah,
he scored a touchdown on it.
Yeah, I gotta see that.
It was smart enough that they changed the rules.
It looked. I gotta watch that. It must have looked really good then.
Yeah.
Boys for life. What's going on, man? He says Redskins beat Eagles, Cowboys beat Giants. Eagles season is over. Cowboys clinch.
Okay, so here you go. Redskins beat the Eagles, and Cowboys beat the Giants. Eagles season over. Cowboys. Well, why is the Eagles season over? I don't understand. Look, we're trying to make a wild card. The division's like we're not even thinking about the division.
Right.
You know, that's why we rooted for Dallas today.
Yeah, Dallas helped us out. And Dallas did some of the dirty work for us down the road, even with beating the Saints, too. They helped us out with that because they were in contention for wild card as well. So it's Falcons jumped in front of the Panthers. They were right behind the Panthers, and they jumped in front of them. They beat them today. So, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there's, some teams out there we have to watch out for. Like we said, Vikings and obviously, obviously Washington and, there's a couple teams, but.
Yeah. Sliding is agreeing. Yeah, but if you're not sliding, then you're not agreeing. You can fake agree. It's like if you start running out of bounds, can you not cut it back inside? I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. Based upon what he did, I don't think I think that the defense got caught sleeping. And they shouldn't have got caught sleeping.
Yeah, I get it.
That's just my opinion.
No, I get it. I mean, it's like you said. It's like you're going to run out of bounds and you fake that. I think someone can actually do that. Like I think they slow down. They're going to run out of bounds and just totally change direction and run the other way. Someone could do that.
Yeah, it was. I don't know.
Just like that.
It was, and then he kept going.
Yeah. We got Super Chat from Bergen 31. What's going on, man? So, what's up, guys? What's your favorite game today?
What's my favorite game today? Definitely not I'm glad Dallas won because it helped us, but it wasn't really that exciting till Prescott threw the pick six. I thought that 49ers Bengals game was good at the end.
Yeah,
but that was pretty good.
I like the Raiders, the Raiders Kansas City game just because like the Raiders was stomping on the logo, on Casey's logo today, and they deserved everything they got in that game, and that was just at insult to injury.
Right.
You know what I mean? So And they scored, and that's
Buffalo
6 straight.
Good too.
Yeah, good game too. And KC's won 6 straight. I mean, they're coming back, so they're looking really good.
Starting to look good, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, Brandon Ayuk scored that game winner in overtime. He caught that ball and he turned it upfield, and he was fast. And regular is supposed to be fast like that, but he plays so slow because he's overthinking everything. It sucks.
Yeah, it does. So going into, so there, we could have some returns of Jordan Howard this week. Davion Taylor's another one we have to look at because I know he had the knee thing that was going on, and I know he went on IR, and IR is usually 3 weeks. So really after the bye, maybe he should be back. I mean, technically they can rest these guys for 2 weeks. How have you thought about like Davion Taylor, finding the combination at linebacker with TJ Edwards so far?
I think Davion Taylor shows flashes of having a lot of talent. I like TJ Edwards. I think he's a good linebacker. So if we can get Davion Taylor back, I think that would be great. I think it would be great. But I like I said, I don't know. I don't know how long he's on IR. To me, it sounded like it was going to be for a while. There's a lot of guys we just don't know. Taylor, Kelsey, right? He was in a boot last week. Miles Sanders, he should be good to go. There's a lot of guys if we could get back that could potentially be huge for us. I would love to see Brandon Brooks come back. Could you imagine the way the line has played? If you could add him back into that lineup, that'd be awesome.
So who do you think the future right guard is? Is it Driscoll or is it Herbig?
I think the future right guard is not on our team right now. I don't think that we got him yet. Although I like Driscoll, and I like Herbig at guard, but I still think they got to get another guy.
Yeah. Yeah, they could do that. I mean, they can go draft a guard this year. They'll draft an offensive lineman this year. I mean, they do most times anyway. So they actually, because we didn't talk about this because we were on the bye too. They extended. Give me his name. They extended Clark.
Clark, yeah, Raven Clark.
Raven Clark to another year after this year. So
he's a depth guy.
Yeah, right. And he
can play both sides.
Yes, played 5 years for the Colts, and coming off the ACL, and really hasn't been has been injured. I think twice already this year. I think he was injured the offseason. I think he was injured again. The guy can't really stay healthy. So what's your plan from Brandon Brooks since he's a $19 million cap hit next year? Do you play him to go get some trade value, which will help you maybe trade him next year? Is that your plan if he's 100% healthy and he's ready to go in right now?
I don't know if they could trade him with that cap number. But I think that he's probably got to go. I don't think you can bring him back. With the amount of times he's been hurt over the last 3-4 years, ever since he signed that big contract, he's been hurt every year, And when he got hurt this year, it sounded like he was only going to be out like 3 weeks, and he's still out right now. So I don't think you can bring him back. I don't know if you can trade him for anything, but I would definitely move on from him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the contracts work. I don't know if there's a thing where there's two teams that take over the cap or they take over the guaranteed for the year or whatever it is. I don't know how teams figure that out or how to make a trade work like that. But I think if you don't play him this year, it's going to be hard to trade him as it is just for how much $19 million cap hit. So, I mean, and get $13.6 million back. So it'd be a good trade if they can get it done.
Yeah. Tennessee Looper asked if I've given up on my music career. I've not given up on my music career. I just, my acting's at the forefront right now because I look like Denzel Washington. It's been pretty crazy. So that's what's going on.
Yeah. So your acting career is a lot more important than your music career.
Right now, of course. Yeah, it is. I got some big movies coming out.
London Herb says, if we could sign AR in the offseason and get some kind of reliable QB passing ability and play calling from coaches, then this offense is set as far as defense goes. God help us. Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson's Yeah, he's a good player. I mean, if he's not too expensive, sure, he would be a great compliment. I don't know. I don't know what the Eagles are going to do. At wide receiver, I do think they need a veteran wide receiver, but I also think they need to get pass rushers like immediately. Like I'm looking at like I want the best pass rusher on the market, and then I want to draft the highest defensive end I can get.
And you've mentioned
that's how
Hassan Reddick or something like
Right.
a kind of a little move like
Yeah.
that.
Right. Yeah, he's having a great year.
We got a super chat from Carlos Garcia. What's going on, man? He says, going to call it now. We will be in the playoffs. Fly, Eagles, fly. Dude, I hope
I love it. I hope so. That would be awesome. That would be all. I think that would be such a big accomplishment for this team, as young as they are. And that would mean Hurts plays well, and then maybe they have a lot of confidence in going to next year with him. And, it would be very interesting. I'm hoping. I really want to make the playoffs this year.
Adam Milsom says, remember last year, first game of Rager career, he had 100 yards receiving and he was playing fast.
Yeah. Versus Washington.
You mean? Oh yeah, he had over 100 yards that first game. He had that big catch.
Yeah. So he had over 100 yards then, right? He's got what, like 200 and something yards now.
Yeah.
So in that his first game, his debut, he had half the amount of yards he has in 13 games this year. And they keep trying to get him the ball. They keep trying to get him the ball. He had 48 snaps. Devontae Smith had 44. Okay. Right. And then they'll say, well, Devontae Smith's double teamed. Okay. Why not run bubble screens to him? Why not run end arounds? Like, why not get this guy involved some way? But no, they try to get Jalen Regular involved. I can't understand that at all. That's my big complaint with Nick Sirianni this past week. That's my complaint with Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew didn't get him the ball. You have to get Devontae Smith involved in this offense, dude. You have to.
Yeah, not like I'm like I don't mind like mid-tier passes. I mean, even they showed a throwing chart even from Minshew. He really didn't throw middle of the field too much. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't know. Sometimes it's hard, depending on like where how the play is and what play is being called. And really going back to Rager, like, do you think the Eagles have given him every opportunity to show to the team or to the front office that he's got to show something which he hasn't? I mean, he really hasn't shown much of anything.
I'll be honest with you. It feels like every time Justin Jefferson goes off, then they try to push Rager. I swear, it seems like every time he has a big game, the next game the Eagles play, they're trying to force it to Regular. So I don't know. I don't know. It just pisses me off that we're dealing with this shit again when we had this with Nelson Aguilar. Right. It just pisses me off.
George Burrow says, hey, Joey in Philly, do you think we take Tyler Lindbrom with one of our first-round picks? He's the best center in the draft and have to think about life after Jason Kelce leaves. I don't know if they would go after a lineman in the first. I mean, they could. They've done it before.
First round? Maybe. I mean, they got 3 first-round picks. I think it's possible. I really don't know what their plan, what Landon Dickerson is, because when they drafted him, it was said to be a center. They were drafting him as a center. So I don't know what the plan is.
So Paul Mancini says, Edge, Hassan Reddick will be available, looking for 15 to 17 million. It's going to be expensive. It's
expensive. But you need that guy so bad. Just think, if you don't have to pay Derek Barnett, that's $10 million right there. So $10 million is already accounted for. Just get rid of Derek Barnett. So you don't have to come up with 15 to 17 million, another 5 or 7 million. I would love Hassan Reddick or somebody like that. That's what you need, I think.
Yeah, what a shame with Derek Barnett and how he's turned out, and it really has gotten worse every year.
It does. His best year was his rookie year. It looked like he had a lot of promise, and then he got hurt. And then nothing ever since, Look at T.J. Watt. You see T.J. Watt? He's got over 13 sacks like every year.
No.
Eagles could have had him. There's so many guys they could have had. But the Eagles, they value pass rushers. That's probably. I was listening to Joe Banner interview, and he's saying the Eagles they consider like the pass rusher the second most valuable position, not including quarterback, but the second most valuable to left tackle. So that's how much they view a good pass rush. So if that's the case, they're going to go out after two. I really believe it.
At the end of the day, even with this pass rush we have right now, do you think Brandon Graham would have made a difference this whole year?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe you're not going to have double-digit sacks, but from like a leadership energy standpoint, I definitely think so. I think even against the run,
Yeah. Landherp says, well, I would love and a free agent pass rusher, but this team has to get younger, especially on defense. We also have a ton of veteran D linemen that can help transition young guys to the NFL.
Yeah, you need to get young. It has to be the right free agent. It have to be like a guy. I'm thinking like a 27-year-old, 28-year-old pet, like somebody in that age range is fine. I don't know how old Hassan Reddick is, but I don't think he's that old. So somebody like that. But the chances of them getting him, I mean, why would Carolina let him go? First of all, that would be just stupid. That's a very hard position to get. You're gonna have to draft somebody. You just are.
And Reddick is 27 right now.
So yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's perfect.
Paul says, if Rager had a precision passer, I'd blame him, but he is underthrown and hung out to dry by an accurate passer. Rager needs next year for evaluation. Okay, listen to
what
this.
What about the game versus the Giants? The two passes that could have gave us a lead. He dropped. I mean, those were right there. No.
Yeah. But then early in the year when Jalen Hurts didn't have any mechanics and this play calling was awful, there was plays where he was wide open. There was plays where he underthrew the Cowboys game, underthrew Rager on a go route. I mean, he ran out of bounds on one route in the San Francisco game, went back inside. I mean, he's made some mistakes. He hasn't scored a touchdown since the first game. I mean, I think Rager would have had a lot more yards this year, touchdown-wise. I don't know, yards. Would have had a lot more because Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni were struggling since you had a rookie head coach, rookie quarterback as of right now. So that time, so I think he would have played better in that situation. But I mean, we talked about, I think, last stream when Sirianni yelled at Rager during practice and OTAs or training camp, and then all of a sudden during these scrimmages, he was catching these one-handers and all this stuff was going on. And we thought a big year was coming out of Jalen Rager. Then once we drafted Devontae Smith, we were like, holy crap, this is going to be great. Quez Watkins was producing. We thought that the world was coming, with all three of these guys together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but Paul's right in that, like, you should give a guy 3 years. I think that's fair. So, I mean, that's what they're going to do because they're not going to want to admit that they totally blew this pick in the first round. So he's going to continue to get every opportunity to win the team over. But he might be right. It may take 3 years. I hope he shows up.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't see anything from Rager the next 4, I don't even know at this point. I really don't because, I mean, he's on the field a lot. I mean, he's on the field a lot. I mean, and I don't see explosiveness off the line. I don't see a big explosive guy coming off the line. There are times where he slowed down his route or he's not in the right spot. Like there's, things that happen like that. So
I think Reagor's issues are mental. I think they're all mental. I think he plays and he thinks too much, and that's why he's slow to react. You know what I mean? Because he's a lot faster than the way he plays. He just is, but he doesn't play like it.
We came out of that draft thinking Rager obviously had a special teams pedigree on him, and he went through 6 quarterbacks at TCU, and you figured, okay, maybe, his head coach, when we drafted him, said, he went through 6 quarterbacks, and he has to get used to every quarterback. Every single time there was always a different quarterback. So I figured, okay, as long as he has a steady quarterback in the NFL, he'll play really well. But honestly, it's not the case. In special teams, it's not the case either. And it seems like Michael Clay has not given up. Well, he returned one on the 31-yard line, like he's throwing him a bone or something. Like Michael Clay's defending Rager a lot, and I don't know why, but
he averages 5 yards a return. 5 yards a return. He had that one nice return where the punt was under. It was kind of a short kick. But what about all the times like where he lets the ball bounce and it gets caught at the 3, at the 2. Like I don't know. I think it's all mental for Regular. I do. I think it's all mental.
He says Jalen Reagor just a couple months ago before the season started came out and said he had lost his childhood friend. Now the season started and he's become the laughing stock for many. Give him a break.
Yeah, he had that whole problem with his friend and stuff. No question about it.
Yeah,
but at the same time, you still got to go out and perform. You're a professional now. That's the way it is. Otherwise, people are going to, fairly or unfairly, they're going to criticize you. Now, I'm not saying, we shouldn't give him a break. We shouldn't even give him another year, but that's just the way it is.
Let's see here. Midwest Eagles fan says all young wide puts struggle with drops. Look at CD, Judy, or Chase. Rager's problem is he doesn't get consistent targets. I don't think it's about the consistent targets. I don't think he can get open. Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Here's what I ask you, okay? Everyone is saying that Reagor is like, I know we talk about Aguilar a lot, and I understand he had up and down years, but let me tell you something. Aguilar always had separation, but he just couldn't catch the ball. I think Aguilar had really good separation when he was here, and obviously the catching was a huge, was a big deal. You know what I mean? That's why I think the difference is because a lot of people have been saying, they've been putting them two together as like, oh, he's just like Aguilar, but I think Aguilar has been a better player. Obviously, he's had more years, but
Well, I just when I say Regular, I say it because of two reasons. One, he drops game winners, and two, it's clearly mental with him. It's not physical; it's mental. And as far as targets goes, I think over the last 3 weeks, I think he had more targets than any other wide receiver. He's had the targets. He's getting more targets than Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I know because at the beginning of the season, Devontae wasn't getting targeted as much as everyone else was, and they were just using him the wrong way. They would put him in like on screen passes, like I feel like they had no idea how to use him. And I don't think they still know how to use him at this point.
No, I don't think they use him right now.
We have 184 people in the chat. Appreciate being here. If you guys haven't subscribe to the channel. If you guys haven't liked the stream, please like the stream. It does help with the channel a lot. If you guys haven't subscribed to the better half of the Philly Shakedown podcast, Philly 500, please subscribe. The link is down below in the description. Just about not says, what's up, everyone? Sorry I'm late. I was getting some Christmas shopping done. How's everyone doing?
Good, man. How are you? Christmas shopping, huh? I still got a lot of Christmas shopping to do. Got a whole bunch. But I'm glad that you're here, man.
Really, other than that, guys, I mean, we're gonna get prepared for Washington this week and we're gonna get this going. We're gonna get this going, get this moving. Like we have to have a big turnaround. I mean, this is it. We control our own destiny right now. Like Eagles lose this game, it's really up in the air. Then we have to depend on. I mean, we still got to depend on other teams regardless. But I think the Eagles stay on this course right now, and obviously this is coming off of a big win. I understand it's the Jets, and I honestly, we were excited. Some of us were excited, and some of us weren't excited about it because it was the Jets. But you lose that game, then Washington is still a game ahead right now. So
right, yeah, it's a big week. I think this is a playoff game. This is a playoff atmosphere. It's going to be incredible. I cannot wait.
And the next two games are in Philly, which is great. So to be home is definitely going to help. We have super chat from George Burwell. Appreciate it very much, man. It says David Ojabo says the first round edge rush for Michigan on the opposite side from Aiden Hutchinson already has double-digit sacks and could be a stud. Yeah, I heard that.
I like it. Yeah, I haven't. I have to watch him. I watched a little of Aiden Hutchinson, and I think he's a beast. No question about it. But they're saying he could be a number one pick overall. So I don't know, but man, that's really what the Eagles need. That's what they need. They need a pass rusher.
Yeah, I saw a video of Aiden Hutchinson on Twitter. Apparently, he was lined up and he was talking crap to this guy. You could say he was talking crap to the tackle, and he was just like, I don't know what he said, but I mean, he's just relentless. I mean, he runs.
Is that the one where he just threw the guy?
Yeah,
I saw one where he just threw him. Like it looked like he just threw him. I was like, oh, this guy, he's got that beast in him, man. Mm-hmm. I think the kid's very talented. There's a kid from Oregon too. I haven't watched any of him yet. But to me, I already can tell you, going in this all season, edge rusher, you need it.
Yeah, they need it badly. Need a pass rush. I mean, like the bright side of our defense is our cornerbacks. I mean, really, at the end of the day, Vontae Mack's been playing well. Darius Slay's having a monster year, only allowing like 30 to 32 yards from receivers. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's been great. I mean, he really has.
And I'm not saying that Steven Nelson is something fantastic, but he's really not bad either. Like, he's got his moments where they pick on him a little bit, but really, Nelson's been solid. He's been, I mean, with a pat, just imagine with this pass rush how many more turnovers we probably have with this cornerback group we have right now. It's going to be interesting. But
yeah, I mean, just think about it. You have what's his face? You have Hargrave has what, like 8 sacks, something like that, and then you have Josh Sweat has 4.5. 4.5 sacks. I mean, that's not a lot of sacks. You know what I mean? And then you got Derek Barnett, a first-round pick. He has 2 in a contract year. So, to me, that's really their big weakness on defense. I mean, they need linebackers, they need safeties, but that pass rush has to get better.
Yeah, I don't want to bring Derek Barnett back on a cheap deal. I don't even want him here. I mean, it shouldn't even happen. I don't know what team is going to pay him, but
well, listen. And if you're going to be like Jonathan Gannon and refuse to blitz people, then you have to go out and have good pass rushers that can get to the quarterback. You know,
if you want to respect quarterbacks like Zach Wilson and like, there's just quarterbacks out there he respects way too much. I don't know why he's blitzing. I don't know. He doesn't blitz against like young quarterbacks or backups or whatever it is. I mean, it makes no sense to me. Why? It's crazy.
He needs to trust Heineken. He needs to treat Heineken like Bud Light this week. You know what I mean? Just go right through that shit. Yeah. I'd blitz everybody.
Now, lastly, I want to ask you. It's about big play Slay. So, do you think Eagles should extend a big play Slay after next year? Do you think tell me what do you think the Eagles will do if Steven Nelson walks or if he stays with Darius Slay and Darius Slay coming off of a contract in 2022? What do you think the Eagles should do?
So Slay's got 1 more year left on his deal, right?
Right.
How old is he?
I gotta check.
If I would probably lean towards bringing him back, but it depends how old he is. I don't think he's 32 or 33. If he's like 30, yeah, I'd bring him back, maybe for a couple years.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. No, I'm all for it. I mean,
I'm not signing him to top 5 money. Well, let's see what he does next year. I wouldn't do anything until after next year.
Right.
I wouldn't do it early.
Right. No, I get it. And if Steven Nelson walks, that's going to be another hole that we have. Unless, you have Tay Gowan from the Zach Ertz trade, which, is apparently a pick that the Eagles were going to make. And they were, Tay Gowan was in a lot of talks with the Eagles during the draft this past year. And then they have, Zach McPherson, 4th-round pick from Texas Tech, which has been a little bit of a project. Obviously, we saw him in preseason. Some great tackling, good angles on tackling, and good tackling. But his coverage is, not great, but something obviously to build off of. So
yeah. No, I agree. It's going to be interesting. But, I mean, first thing first, go out and beat Washington. You got a playoff game. This is a playoff game, essentially. Yes. I cannot wait for this game. It's going to be a long week.
It is.
Long week.
It is. So anything you want to add, 500, anything?
Nah, just it's going to be a busy week. We'll see what happens. I cannot wait for this game. And I think if the Eagles win this game, they got a really good chance at the playoffs. Obviously, if they lose, they're not out of it, but it's going to dramatically hurt their chances. So it's going to be interesting.
So definitely look at the injuries for Washington this week. I know their center got hurt. A tackle got hurt, I think, today.
McLaurin got hurt. McLaurin came out. Antonio Gibson was limping. Heineken was limping, and he left the game. So they had a lot of injuries today.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had an offensive lineman taken off a cart. And then they got a bunch of guys that are on the COVID list. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's definitely something else to look out for with the injury. So we'll keep you guys updated, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate everyone
Oh,
coming to the Philly Shakedown today.
oh, the one thing I will say is that Christmas would probably like the week of Christmas probably have to do something early because Christmas Day is on a Saturday. So we'll figure that out.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm definitely fine with that. Have some eggnog. We'll be ready. Ready to go.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I won't be. I mean, Christmas Day. I'm indisposed.
Yeah. No one can contact 500 on Christmas Day. Let the man relax.
Yeah. It's eggnog, buddy. Eggnog time, yo.
Gotcha. If you guys appreciate everybody coming into the stream today. It means a lot. Much love to everybody. 171 in the chat, going strong. Appreciate everybody being here. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't. Covered the Eagles every day. Like the stream. Guys haven't subscribed to Philly 500. His link is in the description below. We'll let you know what goes on with the streams. Obviously, we'll have a stream this week on Saturday. We didn't do one last night because a lot of people were asking last night. We just decided not to because there really wasn't much going on. We figured after this Washington-Dallas game to kind of do something afterwards. So,
and I had to go to I had to take my daughter to get a COVID test. So that also happened. So, that sucked, but I don't. Hopefully, she don't have it. I mean, she's not even sick. So the 2 kids of her class tested positive. So they're like, you have to take her, or she can't come on Monday. I'm like, all right. So that's what happened.
Yeah, well, it looks like the mask mandate's coming back to New York now. So it looks like I'm going to have to be wearing a mask inside places now because of this stupid variant, this other variant that's out now. So
I don't wear masks.
Nope. We won't get into all that, but yeah.
Nope.
All right, guys. Don't want to keep you all guys away, but we will see you this Saturday. We'll be on. I don't know what we're doing channel wise this weekend, but
wait. They have a home test now. I didn't know that.
I never. Yeah, you could buy. I mean, you could buy them in the store, but you could buy them like in the store.
Wow,
now.
I would love to get some home tests because I had to go to the doctor and you have to wait in this line, and then it's like I still have to wait 2 days. I'm not going to hear anything till Monday. I need to know. I need to find one. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I need to do the home tests.
Yeah, I saw them I remember going to see.
That's 3 times this year that I've taken my youngest to get tested. Yeah. I've taken my oldest twice. Because anytime somebody that comes in contact with them even tests, I have to go. The schools want you to go get tested.
And now the people that are vaccinated now need to get 2 booster shots now. Now you have to get 2 booster shots. They're having to get 2 booster shots if you're fully vaccinated now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's just one thing after another.
But yeah, Raunchy says the ones that you buy are $100. Yeah, they're like $100. Yeah.
How many do you get? Just one, or do you get more than one? If you get like 10 of them, I'll buy it.
No, it's one. It was $100 for one. I remember. I think it was just for one.
I mean, I've taken them 5 times and get tested already. It's like 5 times this year I've been through that, and it's just like it's just every time somebody tests positive, you get a thing saying you have to take your child. I have to take my daughter, my youngest one. She had to get tested today, and she has to get tested in 10 days. And there's nothing I can do about it. Sucks.
Crazy. Yeah, this whole thing sucks. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
Especially you got kids too. It's a whole deal. Like you gotta watch out so you at that school, and you gotta watch out if they have it at school, and you gotta be on top of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And every day, like somebody's tested positive because they always send things home, and then like my youngest daughter, 2 of her friends are like really good friends that she's in. She's hanging around with them all day. So I don't know if she's going to get it or not, but right now she's okay. But. It just sucks. It's like I have to keep taking them to get tests. It's crazy.
I get it. All right, guys. Well, we will see you this week. We'll put a post out. We'll let you guys know like what we're doing this weekend with the streams and everything that's going on. But we're getting ready. It's time for us to claim our spot in the wild card. So we're ready to get this done.
Definitely, no question about it.
All right, guys. You guys have a fantastic day. Subscribe to both channels, Philly 500's channels, and link in the description, guys. You guys haven't checked it out. His link's in there. Hit that link and subscribe, like all his videos, and check out some of his streams from this morning. Much appreciated. So, all right, guys. You guys have a fantastic day. Shakes about Fly. Peace out, guys.
Peace
out.